Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here to talk to you about something that had confused me for a long time with respect to king and pawn endings. It's the notion of opposition as it relates to outflanking. Now, just a short comment. Just having the opposition does not mean you're winning the chess game, which I thought for a long time. That's why I'm such a weak player. But opposition is a means to an end referred to as outflanking in many contexts. So let's take a look at the position right here. It's white to move, and so white captures the pawn at e3. Now you can take a look at the remaining pawn structures, but nobody has any temping moves. All of these pawns are fixed. They cannot move forward without just being captured and leading to an immediately losing game. So white captures right here, and what intrigued me about this position, there's actually two squares. This square doesn't look promising at all for black, so we'll rule it out without trying to explain it. So that leaves this square and this square to move to. And so it turns out if you move to the wrong square, the game will just be drawn. And I think you guys probably can see this. If you move to the square f5, white moves here, and you can see that, we're just going to move back and forth, and both sides will have to content themselves with a draw. Okay, so that position that we just looked at is referred to as white taking the close opposition, and I like to call it the vertical close opposition. Vertical. I don't think Dvoretsky does that in his book, and I would like to introduce that additional language, because you can have diagonal opposition as well. So right now, white has seized the vertical opposition due to black's inaccurate move. Now let's go back. Okay. So again, we've seen what happens if black blunders with king to f5. Now let's move to g5. Notice here we have a single square between the two opposing kings, and this is diagonal close opposition. All right. So what is white to do? Okay. Well, if white moves to the f3 square, it's now black who has the vertical opposition. And what will happen here is the d pawn, this d4 pawn, will eventually fall, allowing this pawn right here to move up to this square, which it will probably promote to a queen. A rook would do, but most people just enjoy the additional firepower of the queen. So again, if this pawn falls right here, the game is over, the d4 pawn. So let's back up again. So again, but what else can white do? If he backs up, it's going to be even worse, right? If he backs up to one of these squares, the king is just going to invade and get to the d4 pawn. Okay, so go back. Okay, so this is the winning move for black, king to g5. Now white has there's no good moves. White's going to lose this, but king to f3, vertical opposition, again, not diagonal, vertical close opposition, because there's one square between these two kings. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back. Now, if white moves here, which appears to be the only move, then this outflanking maneuver takes place. This is what they mean by outflanking. It's sort of an ambiguously phrased word to me, but it's you're coming around the side and forcing the king to unfavorable position where this d4 pawn will fall. Okay, so what's a move here? Oh, I suppose you could move backwards, but then you're going to move here. Black's going to move here, here, and the d4 pawn falls. Okay, so again, I think everybody gets the picture. There's two types of opposition: vertical, diagonal. You could even have horizontal, which could arise here. Let's see here. We have this position. It's white to move. Or no, it's black to move. Okay, now white can move here, here. Well, actually, that was stupid, folks. Never mind. But I think you guys get the picture. Vertical in diagonal opposition are a means to a procedure called outflanking, and the outflanking here is going to allow for the d pawn to fall. Like right, if you move here. Oh, actually, it did happen. Let's look. So black moves to f4. Sorry, black moves to f4. White moves to e2. Yeah, sorry, folks, I'm hyperventilating here. I'm not going to blame it on the coronavirus. Right? And the d4 pawn falls, right? So again, But just as a recap, back to the very original position here. There is in this position, there is a move that only draws. We've seen that this only draws after white goes here, securing what we call the close opposition. However, if black just remembers the opposition counts for diagonals. It counts for diagonals, not just files and ranks. Okay. At this point, black, it's easy to see, and we've already been through it. Black is eventually going to win this pawn in this position. Again, you guys can work through the various variations, but once this position is achieved, there's really no hope for white, because this d4 pawn is indefensible. The position is no longer tenable, T-E-N-A-B-L-E, indefensible, if you want another three-syllable adjective or synonym, I mean. Now, or both. But folks, again, this deep pawn will go in. Y'all apologize for the length of this, but hopefully I got the notion of distant, close opposition. Now, let's just go through one variation. Sorry, I don't see your take, isn't it? Takes. Let's just go through a complete variation here. Here, outflank. What do you do? Move there. Now it's white that has the opposition here, the close opposition, but it really does not help much. Okay. Horizontal opposition, we did get it. Horizontal close opposition, we did get it. All right, so what white has not much to do here. Can go to this square to win the pawn, meaningless pawn, captures, right? And now it's crystal clear that this deep pawn is going to eventually go in. Now, if white gets kind of stubborn here, we can just do this. See? So again, all of white's pawns are going to fall if necessary. Maybe there's a way just to win. Let's see, if you go here, again, vertical opposition. White has to move to one square or the other, either to this square or this square. In either event, king comes forward. I'm glad I kept jabbering, guys. At least you're going to see the finish of this thing. So no matter where you go, let's say you go here, this pawn queens. Okay, and if white doesn't feel like resigning, okay, here, it's hopeless, but queen, folks, overwhelming show of force right here. A rook would have won also. Some people might try with the rook just to rub their opponent's nose in it. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for watching.